Okay, so yesterday I filmed a video. It was 20 something minutes, but I decided that it was just too confusing. It didn't make sense, like it was too long and everything. So now we're gonna do it again. I deleted all of it. So yeah, anyways, now they have decided that they want to ban in Finland the face coverings of Muslim women, which would be the niqab and the burqa. Some of the politicians say that they want to ban it only in schools. Some say that they start with schools and then they ban it in all public places. Now, first of all, this is very, very shameful, and this is oppression specifically towards Muslim women. Okay, this oppression and discrimination, no doubt about it. It's clear. It is very hypocritical of them to speak about all of these women's rights and things and always claim that we as Muslims oppress women and, tell them how they should dress. And now they are doing it themselves. They are telling them how they can or how they cannot dress. And they are limiting their personal freedom. Because there is no good reason to tell somebody that they cannot cover their face in public place. And no Muslim women covers their face so that they could steal. No one does it. This is the kafir mindset now. That you do something like that only so you can do a crime. But we don't do crimes as Muslims. By default, we don't do crimes, we don't steal. In the Quran, Allah says that for the male and female thief, you should cut their hands off, or hand off. So we don't do that kind of. There's no good reason to ban it other than that they want to oppress and discriminate against the Muslims and the Muslim women especially. Now we know that already. And of course, surprise, surprise, most of the people who want to ban it are speaking about it are members of the party called Perussuomalaiset, which is the racist, or I don't know if the party in itself is so much like openly racist, but at least many of the members are. For example, the leader. She says sometimes very, very openly racist comments. And it's clear to anyone. It's clear to anyone who is honest. And, this is like a far-right party. Yes. So this comes as no surprise. Now, I have thought about this. What can we do? I tried to kind of a little bit look into this. Now, most probably if we would try to take it into the EU, that wouldn't help. Take it to the European Union, they couldn't do anything. They can't do anything. They can't help us. Okay, I looked into it, most likely they can't do anything. Now, what I think is that they don't care what we as Muslims say. They don't care what we as Muslims say. And taking into account the fact that most of the people in Finland, and there's studies of this, for example, the countries where Muslims face most discrimination, the top 3 countries, they are Austria, Germany, and Finland. So I'd say most people here have negative image about Muslims and negative mindset towards Muslims. So I think it is very likely that it will come into effect, this law. And there's also the possibility that later they will try and take it further or also ban the hijab. Whether in schools or in public places anyways. So I don't think we have any say in this. Now, I've been thinking about this really like a lot. Now, I have right to be angry because I'm Finnish. I'm born here, and this is clear discrimination. It's not like, so I can be angry and I can say this is not fair because I live here and I don't really have now currently good options to go anywhere else. Now some of these racist politicians say, I'm not gonna mention any names now, but anyone who's been reading the news probably can guess. So one of them, for example, she says that, something in the lines of, if you don't want to live according to the rules of the country, then you can just go away, You don't need to live here. Yeah, sure, if I could go, if you would, for example, arrange for me Saudi Arabian citizenship and a job from Saudi Arabia, I would go without hesitation. I would go right now. But the problem is that it is not so easy to do hijrah. So I can be angry, and perhaps the children of the immigrants who have come here, who have been born here, they can be also angry. But the Muslims who have come here, who have migrated here, I don't think they really can be angry. Because they made the decision to come here. Now, of course, I'm not now judging anyone or saying that they didn't have good reasons, I don't know. But if your country was not in war, okay, let's take an example of Turkey, for example. If you came from Turkey, you migrated here to stay here for good. That's not halal to do. That's halal to, migrate for good from a Muslim country to a non-Muslim country. So those people who have done that, assuming their lives weren't in danger, they weren't persecuted or anything like that, they don't really have a say. They can't really complain. Because they made the decision to come here, to this non-Muslim kafir country, and they took the chance, Now I think all of those people should go back. And I'm just giving opinions here. These are what I've been thinking, my opinions. I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. No. So this is not fatwa, because I can't give fatwa, because I'm not a alim. Okay, so chill people. I know that there's some people who always want to come to the comments and, get a little bit too excited. Because they can't process what's, there's certain people who they can just process what I say or some other people say. They're not enough, they don't have enough intelligence for it. And then you say something that can be slightly misinterpreted. And then they are all over you, in the comment section, telling how you said this wrong and you have to fear Allah, astaghfirullah. Come on. The internet is very frustrating place. Because the people don't seem to use their brains a lot. Yeah, that's why I usually don't comment anywhere to anything. Anyways, back to my subject. Now, if this law comes to an effect in Finland, now where was I? Anyways, if this law comes to an effect, those people should go. And also, the same is for all the, Muslims who have migrated to the West without a valid reason, You should go back if you are able to, without immense hardship. Now, if this law comes into effect, I advise all Muslims to do hijrah. If you are able to, you should do hijrah. Because this is clear discrimination, even if you don't believe that covering the face is obligatory. Because how can we know what is their next step? What are they gonna ban next? How are they gonna limit us next? And I've been thinking this a lot, and I don't see any other option than to go, because it's hard to really complain, because this is their country. You know, of course, all the land is the land of Allah, and no other law should be implemented but the divine law of Allah, the Sharia. But, yani, what can we do? What can we do? We don't have army to take over. This is gonna get me in trouble. I'll just post it. See what happens. Maybe they will terminate my channel. Come and imprison me. Well, you can come. I'm not scared of you. Prisons in Finland. You know. Like a hotel. I've heard they have TVs. All kinds of cool stuff. Cool stuff. Video games they can play. Yeah. Yeah. Like a holiday, more like. But anyways, where was I? Oh yeah. So we don't have an army to like take over to stop the oppression. Because it's oppression. Don't say it's anything else. It's discrimination. It's oppression. It is shameful and disgusting. And two-faced and very hypocritical. When you combine it with what they do and what they say. It's hilarious, to be honest. How... I don't know if they are actually delusional, or they are in some level, but like, they're just so wrong. They're so wrong. And the general population in Finland. You know, most of them are, you know, like sheep. They follow whatever is the, you know, narrative. And the narrative is that the Muslim women, they are oppressed because they want to cover their faces. That makes them oppressed. Cool. And now they try and make it seem like it's not oppression to ban them from covering their faces. Now I claim, and if gambling wouldn't be haram, I would bet money that now if I would put if the law comes into effect, and I would put a face mask and like a hoodie on so that nobody can see anything else but like around my eyes, I would bet that nobody's gonna fine me for it. Or in the winter, if I put hoodie on and like I have a scarf, like a wool scarf, and I will wrap it around my face, you know. Nothing else can be seen than my eyes. I would bet that nobody would give me any trouble. I wouldn't get fined, nothing. I even would bet that I could walk into the police station. And we will try this if this law comes into effect, by the way. We'll try this, I'll film it. I'll make a video. Walk into the police station, show them all the footage of you. See what I did. I went to the grocery store and I covered my face. Show it to them and ask, am I now gonna get fined? You know, I bet that I wouldn't get fined. Because I'm a male. And apparently, when we want to cover our faces, it's not oppression. But when Muslim women want to, remember now, want to cover their faces, it's oppression somehow. Again, this went into this. I jumped from one subject I was talking about to other, and now like this is again like just I'm confused. Where was I? But anyways, something about we don't have an army, so we can take over and you know stop the oppression. Yes, that's what I was saying, and it is very unlikely that we can do anything to revoke this law. If this is a correct word to use, I don't know, anyways. Who cares? You know what I mean. Now it can be attempted. But still I don't like the thought of always being on our toes, waiting when when they come up with the next crazy thing, you know. Whatever it is, they can, you know, I could expect anything from them. So anyways, I advise all Muslims to do hijrah. I advise all Muslims to do hijrah, whatever is the case. But especially if this law comes into effect. No, I don't understand how Muslims actually have children here. I feel like it's crazy. I would never have children here. Even if I would be non-Muslim, I would not have children here. This is so toxic, so bad place to raise our children. Especially the indoctrination camps that they call as schools. Allahu musta'an. Yeah, this is my sermon to you today. I don't think I have anything else. Shame on all of the people who advocate this face covering ban. Shame on all of those politicians. You know, may Allah help us. May Allah help all the Muslims. And may Allah destroy the plans of the disbelievers. All of those wrongdoers and criminals. As-Salaamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.